resource. You can check us live, of course, on YouTube or one of our platforms on Facebook, LinkedIn, and our Facebook group, Get Resourced. Welcome. So we're here to have conversations around anything that reconnects us to ourselves, source, and others. And before we open it up, we always love to check in. And the question for check-in is, what's alive in you, Summer?
I'm feeling a little dreary. The weather's been extremely cold for August. And as we get ready for going to the event called Get Remembering the Village, I'm feeling a little uh, sad, a little
Hmm.
griefy. Yeah, because
Hmm.
I don't remember what the village is like.
Oh, do you know what you're needing?
Uh, m- More closeness, more connection,
Hmm.
more family, more elders, more younger
Yeah.
people around. Yeah, I have a calling, a desire for that. Hmm.
Me too. Hmm.
Right, yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
What's alive in you today, Mr. Dre?
Energetically, there's some denseness in my system. I'm noticing it in my chest. It's like heavy for some reason. Is this for like my nervous system is getting a workout? And I'm breathing into it again and just making space for it and just feeling into it rather than trying to numb myself or disconnect from it. So just naming it.
Hmm.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to go to Remembering the Village. I'm excited to be with those that will help me remember who I am in the ways that I can bring back and integrate in the here and now as a way to pay reverence to my ancestors. Um, yeah, I'll leave it at that because I think that's a great segue into what we're going to be talking about today. And this theme this month has been about transactional to relational. And we
Yeah.
spoke about the three stages of relationship, right? From transactional, what can you do for me? To relational, what can we do for each other? To transpersonal, I call it, is what does this relationship want? And it's so awesome that Remembering the Village falls on today while we're
It
talking
is
about
kind of
this.
cool. Yeah.
I know, right? Till
Yeah.
Sunday, late Sunday. And so I like to ask you, what was your intention of like being there, being a Remembering the Village?
You always ask such good questions. I think my intention is to connect to like-minded people,
Hmm.
those who are becoming more relational, less about transactions and money
Hmm.
in their way of working. We need money. I'm not saying we don't need money and that we are getting rid of that system, but um, I just mean when people hold relationships and the connection as more important than that,
Hmm.
than than money. Because I
Hmm.
was reflecting today, and part of my sadness comes out of this thought or this idea or this story, however anyone wants to take it. Um, that in our families, people get married, and when they're married and they have kids, they're called dependents, and the government kind of tells you how much your kids are worth by how much money they give you back on taxes. And having witnessed a few family businesses, um, deaths and divorces, and doing some mediations with those people in those circumstances, how money becomes a real issue. Am I inheriting money? Do I need money? Which of the siblings are getting which money, and what part of the land are they getting? Um, it's very transactional, and it makes me really sad, actually. Um,
Hmm.
People seem to know how to talk about money and value, even though it changes and there's inflation and in different countries. Like, it really means nothing when it comes down to anything. Nobody takes money or land with them when they leave this planet. So I think part of remembering the village is about leaving a different kind of legacy.
Hmm.
I think returning to our spiritual roots, um, the desire to
Hmm.
be with
Yeah.
rather
To not
than
treat
take
each other
from.
as objects.
Yeah, yeah, as
Hmm.
someone to sell something to, but to relate to.
Hmm. To relate to. Hmm. Yeah, that's beautiful.
What about you?
Hmm.
Like we haven't really talked about it. What was
Hmm.
your intention? Why?
Yeah, for me, because I judge myself to be domesticated, a city slicker, city boy, born in the city, born with computers, like not good with my hands in terms of like handiwork or farming or you know all that kind of stuff. And there's a deep desire to learn that. There's a deep desire to be more capable, more sustainable, and being in right relationship with nature. And I see nature as I more do this work. Nature is actually my first relationship with the feminine, and how am I treating nature? And it's also a way for me to honor my ancestors, like this blood that I have, this ancient knowledge of like holding them in reverence and what did they do, and bring that here and the now. And I know when I hit that chord, because I'm coming in with like, open eyes and green and looking to learn, and to see and witness others that have learned from other schools of thoughts, to bring it down to like, yeah, hit the chord when I know that my actions are life giving, not life taking. And it so connects with the work that we do with conscious communication and honoring the legacy of Marshall Rosenberg with nonviolent communication, is that, yeah, I grew up in the domination paradigm. I grew up in a colonial paradigm, a paradigm that has a top-down hierarchical structure, power over, male dominance, violence, rather than this partnership paradigm of mutuality, consideration of each other's needs, life giving, not violent language, but conscious communication. So yeah, so wish to live in that, to steep myself in that, so I can bring that back in the here and now, in my beingness, in the work that I do, how I show up, and to summarize it is to remember who I am,
Mm,
to remember truly who I am deep down, not these programs of what culture, society, which comes from this domination structure.
hmm. Yeah, remembering, which remember means to put back together again.
Mm,
Putting ourselves back together individually, socially, spiritually. We're such a fractured. There's so many people right now dealing with conflict, division, divorce, siblings that are separated. It's well, I'm feeling really emotional about it.
mm. Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
struggle is we don't know how to relate to each other in life-giving ways. Like I've been taught a language that's baked in criticism, judgments, right or wrong. And it's like we're both hurt because we're not hearing each other. And it's, in my way, I feel safe when I'm like, I'm out of here. I'll take care of my own needs, my avoider. Like I'll just be by myself. It's too painful to engage. Maybe the story is that this person won't hear me, or it creates more conflict. And I don't know how to handle it without it turning into a fight because I've witnessed it, I've experienced it. That holy, every time I talk about something real, it turns into a fight. And this doesn't feel good. So why bother, right? And it's because I didn't learn the language. I didn't learn how to be in touch with my body, what my body's telling me, rather than projecting it onto you and being like, you're making me feel, and it's your fault for my needs not being met. And I want you to guess my needs. Well, what did I go to school for? I don't remember what I learned in school, in an elementary, junior high, high school. Like, yeah, it's so interesting when I get to look at it now, babe, and just realize I'm like, there it is. And just imagine if we all lived to like 200 years old, right? We would see the patterns, man. We would see the play. We would see the game. Yep. The game of slavery.
Yeah, pretty much. The Matrix, we're living in it.
Yeah.
Hmm. I think you said, the language. I don't know if everyone watching knows. This is a little experiment, a good way to use ChatGTP. Type
Yeah.
in a question relative to what is the fundamental purpose of the English language? Or what is the primary question the English language seeks to answer? And the answer you will get will be something like, what's that thing? It's transactional. It's about object and subject. It's about efficiencies of time and economies of scale. It's a colonialized language. English. It's after the
Yeah.
England, for the Queen. And if you put in the same questions and ask them about the ancient or Aboriginal language and what's their primary purpose or question they seek to answer, and it is, Dre,
What is my relationship to that thing?
what's
Mm.
my relationship to that thing?
Mm.
We are born in the industrial age with economies of scale and building and creating things and making more of it. More and more and more and more and more. It's not about relationships to all those things. And
Mm.
so we've all been treated a little bit like things, like cogs in a wheel. The medical system's a little bit like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like too extreme. Like there's value, right? Merit with left brain thinking, logical, rational. I wouldn't enjoy the benefits of this home, this electricity, this internet without it. I think it's just we're swayed too much on one side and not knowing how to build a bridge over.
Well,
You
I
had something
think,
there?
well, I was going to say a lot of people are moving into gratitude and what they're grateful for. I think that's a relationship of how you feel positively towards, anything, the home we live in, the earth, how we've come to be. And gratitude is gratitude for those things that bring us life. I think that's a good start to being in relationship with my world.
Mm, yeah. And I just want to speak to that, there's value with like the logical thinking, right? And I'll just speak for myself that I was trained to be logical, like math, science. Just do those. Forget about art. Forget about phys ed, right? And being computer science or computer programming for 12 years, like, yeah. And now learning the skills to relate, it's like all these skills can be learned. They can be remembered again. And it's just for me to recognize when do I need to be left brain thinking, when I need to just focus and do some like deep work that requires, what do you call that? Is that alpha waves? No, beta waves, right? Brain waves. And then how to relate to others, which is not like logical when emotions are involved and needs and yeah, presence. Like when I learn about conscious communication, right? It's so easy for me to be mechanical about it. And then I wonder how come it
Mm.
doesn't work, right? You get mad of like me trying to fix you or I'm being like conscious communication police. That's not a feeling, that's a judgment. And I'm being logical, right? Rather than how do I develop those core attributes that bring upon connection, like right brain thinking of presence, compassion, right? Kindness. Like it's a way of being, isn't it? Like
It-
there's much more. There's much more than the five senses. There's much more than the mind that makes me human, is what I'm saying. Would you agree?
yes, I think I'd agree.
I'm teeing that up for you.
Thanks, Dre.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. I know you say it every time. I think the logical mind is purposeful.
Yeah. Not hating on it. I just want to be clear on that.
Yeah. yeah, the logical mind is, I've got this list, I've got this grocery list, I've got these things I've got to do. But why are we doing them? And so I think a lot of people are searching for purpose, for meaning in relationships and in their lives. And what brings people meaning? I mean, to feel of purpose, to feel like they're contributing to life, to feel of value, those types of things. And how do you know you're really contributing to anyone else's lives unless you really ask what it is they need?
Mm. But the challenge is that a lot of people don't know what they need.
No, they don't. People don't know what they need. We're not
Yeah.
taught to be in tune with ourselves. We're not taught to check in with our body. In fact, we're taught drink 5 cups of coffee a day, go to work extra hours, work 2 jobs. Oh, you've got cancer? Oh, you're exhausted? Oh, you've got burnout or adrenal fatigue? Hmm. We're definitely more like robots or slaves in a lot of ways. And so remembering the village, maybe it's remembering how to be human again.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. That excites me. To be human again. Oh, and to relate others in real ways. Like what that comes to mind, babe, is like I get to be me and be accepted. Cool.
I don't know. I
Right.
think some people might be a little bit afraid or doubtful about that one. There's so many, clubs, people, places. And I remember you too. You told me
Huh?
this actually. You used to put a no girls sign outside your bedroom, didn't you? And your sister wasn't allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. When I
I
was
don't
a
know why.
kid, for sure.
But there's
Yeah.
still a lot of
It
that
was a
going
keep out sign. Like I didn't want my little brother and sister to go in my room, and and I went, and then somehow I made a caveat for my brother, and then not my sister.
I mean, that's kid stuff. But honestly, a lot of us as adults are still being kids. People we don't want somewhere,
Yeah.
exclusionary tactics, and we don't know
It's
how to.
because I'm a big kid, right? At times where something comes up, I'm a big kid. Maturity sometimes doesn't ever follow age, right?
No.
You know, being older doesn't mean that you're mature. And then being older doesn't mean that you're an elder either, right?
Mm-mm.
You know, there's a lot of elders, what constitutes an elder, and I'm looking forward to being with elders. You know, like man, growing up, I just didn't have someone I look up to, like a male role model that I felt safe with, and I'm so craving that, deeply desiring to even be with like an old Asian man or something. That looks like he knows kung fu and tai chi and all that. Like just be in that lineage, and I love my dad. He just didn't play that role for me, right? And that's okay. It's just the way things happened. That's another desire of mine. I remember in the village is I want to chat with the men. I want to chat with the women about like rites of passage, like initiations. Like, man, I am in a Western society, so perhaps I'm learning like indigenous, right? Rights, Aboriginal, North American Aboriginal rights. But what about the ancient Chinese? I'm so disconnected from that. There's a book, a mythology called Journey to the West. It's like an initiation of the Monkey King. The book's there
Mm.
for me to read. It's a thick book, though I want to learn from someone that can remind me of my lineage, my Chinese lineage and descent of like, man, this initiation that moves me from this adolescence, boyhood to adulthood. I just never experienced that for myself.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about rites of passage. We're just kind of stumble into these things, don't we?
Yeah.
Blindly. The only
Right.
thing
I
we
mean,
often celebrate is school,
mm,
graduation from school,
graduation. Yeah.
from school.
Though I think there's in every human being, there is this call, like the hero's journey, like as if like my soul is calling out for an initiation, whether it be at the bar, drinking my face off, getting blacked out drunk, right, or joining a gang. Like it's gonna be initiation of some kind. It might
Yeah.
not be a healthy one.
No. Yeah, what kind of initiations do we have? It is often those things, isn't it?
Mm,
Drugs, for a lot of people or women, it's some kind of illness or divorce. For a lot of people, these are the types of things that make them go, oh, wait a minute. I don't know what's going on here. How did this accident, how did this crisis, how did this happen?
mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
And then we,
Ask that question. What led up to it, right?
mm,
I'm so trained to look at the accident, look at the disease and like trying to fix that, but not look at this the root, the events that led up to it.
and I can, there's a lot of events. There's a lot of events in our personal lives, in our history. You were talking about the ancestors that brought me all teary eyed, you
Mm,
know, the patterns of our people, the history that they tell us that I don't necessarily believe is necessarily true, and the things that are sometimes hidden from us and how we were brought up. My ancestry is English and
mm.
Ukrainian. I had a little 4'8" Baba who came over here, and I didn't know, they grew a lot of potatoes and had pierogies, but they also had a lot of healing arts that they weren't allowed to bring with them on the boat.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah.
like I mean, wouldn't that be kind of like knowledge or something, or
Knowledge, yeah.
because knowledge you could take with you?
Well, you can. Whether or not you're allowed to speak about it is another thing.
Oops, I think
Oh,
we're having a little internet glitch here.
uh-oh.
It's choppy. We got choppy for a bit. Are you back?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, interesting.
Uh, yeah, you kind of glitched out there, babe.
Yeah, it looks like the internet actually went to nothing there.
Which uh, which internet are you connected to? All right, some technical difficulties. It's interesting that we're supposed to be connected to the same internet, but yeah, we lost Summer. Yeah, I was just kind of curious of like what healing arts they weren't able to take with them on the boat, but if I knew those arts within me, then it's with me, right? Like I always say, whatever I learn, whatever I experience, no one can take away, right? That's the biggest gift that I can give myself is when I invest into myself. It's the best investment because no one can take that away from me. And as long as I appreciate, so do all the people around me. And now summer's back. Okay, here we are. Little technical glitch.
Yeah, interesting how it cut me out as I just said that my ancestors were prevented from bringing their knowledge. They can bring their knowledge, but they can't speak about it.
Oh,
Which, did you know in Canada there's still a witching act? Did you know that?
I did not know that. And what do you mean by like they
On the
can't be prevented
Constitution?
by speaking about it? What's gonna happen?
Um, well, I mean, I don't know what the threats were, but people speaking their truth, as we learned in COVID, was not that often that welcome. And so, healing arts, witches, the Witching Act, anyone who has any intuitive or healing knowledge. Now, you can't say now, even now, you can't say you can cure anything. You can't, there's all sorts of ways that people are muted from
Hmm.
expressing any knowledge that isn't of the pharmaceutical or medical institutions that allow certain things.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is, I mean, we might have to pull this back home to remembering the village, but it's like it seems like the Canadian government is taking off the shelves what's healthy for us, what's natural and healthy for us. Um,
Oh, they've done that.
yeah.
And I think that that is part of remembering the village because people have gifts. People have
Oh,
gifts of
man.
how to collect medicine from the earth, how to treat, how to do all sorts of things, how to stay healthy. We were never this
Yeah.
sick when we had the village.
When I was out at Alexander's on his land, he had medicine all over his land. He was pointing out this particular flower, this particular plant for this particular reason. I cut myself with like a nail that was sticking out, and he brought me to this white flower. I forgot what the flower was, but I chewed it up and I put it on my finger and wrapped a band-aid around it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, plantain is great for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
So it does reflect back to the village.
Yeah.
Even though you think I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowledge. Knowledge. If you don't
Yeah.
have
And the
knowledge, like I wonder,
villages.
sorry, I was going to say, I mean, knowledge even goes down to how do we make our own food? A lot of people don't, myself included. My parents used to have a garden. My grandparents grew tons of food. People are getting back into it. They're getting into permaculture, which is amazing. But we've grown up, like my kid, if people haven't seen a chicken, they don't know what it is. They know what comes in, well, a plastic wrap, right? And if they've never seen animals, if you've been in the city your whole life, I remember going to India once. I didn't know what nutmeg looked like. It's this little, you know, nut type thing. You open it up and there's this red plastic looking piece over this nut. It's so amazing when you learn where things actually come from rather than they're packaged, um, how they come packaged. I mean, I I didn't know.
Mm.
And I think some of the kids don't know. I saw a video on Instagram. Their kid, they took him to the garden first and they looked at the carrot and it had dirt on it. And they're like, oh my God, look at it. Well, that's how it grows. It comes out of the ground. You just wash it off.
Mm.
But this
Yeah.
5 or 6 never seen it before.
Right. It's kind of being domesticated, right? Going back to that.
Hey, you
Yeah.
wait to get your food pushed to you in a bowl and you have no idea. If you have no idea how to survive or how to do anything for yourself, yikes. And you end up,
Mm.
you know, dogs have no need to chase their prey, to make their own food. They can lay on the couch, wait for their owner to get home and get fat. So do people. I've seen when we walk around our neighborhood, there's TVs on at night. There's nothing better than to do than watch huge, and the screens now are gigantic. It's kind of a replacement. Most people don't go to church anymore. There's no community.
Mm.
It's their TV. And you wonder, like I do
Mm.
wonder the types of programs people are watching. And so
I also do wonder the age demographic too, because I judge the people watching TV or geriatrics, like older generation.
okay, well, I don't know. There's screens. I think that if I would,
I guess maybe you can watch Netflix. I guess that's a different thing. You're streaming movies and TV.
well, and then there's
But
the
yeah,
younger, and you used to game too, but a lot of gamers, Fortnite, Twitch streaming, stuff like that, which is cool. There's communities, but it's still done through a screen too. And we're on a screen now, so
yeah, yeah. I'm actually on the computer quite a bit. Yeah, yeah. It's just the nature of the livelihood that we want to create, right? As well. Online gives us so much flexibility, right? To be able to work from anywhere as long as we got an internet connection. It's a beautiful place. A lot to be grateful for. Like, wow, digital economy and all that. And that's just more emphasis on me to remember, like to remember to go outside and go for a walk,
true.
the
We
ground.
get to be on it all weekend. Here's another thing: being in person, going to the
Yeah.
events with real human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when is it happening and where?
Oh, yeah. People could still come if they want to, I think. It's
Mm.
happening starting today. We're going to go right after this, so in about half hour. Pigeon Lake at the Secret Sanctuary, where Danica and
Mm.
Nick and Fiona have this beautiful watershed property by Pigeon Lake. It looks more like BC. They have huge
Mm.
bonfire,
Oh, cabin.
glamping tents, and Nick is an amazing carpenter who builds some of the most amazing, luxurious outhouses I've ever seen. There's even running water taps, and it's just really exceptionally beautiful land.
Yeah. Speaking to like the ease, right? That comes with the luxury,
Mhm.
that comes with ingenuity, the creativity. It's like kind of to balance that, right? Like the ease and comfort. Thank you, home. Thank you for a roof. Thank you for the warm furnace and all that. Just the awareness how to blend those two together, right? Without losing myself.
Oh yeah, we're
Like,
not saying remembering the village is going back to just the land and everything else. Being
yeah.
able to keep the ingenuity, the creativity, the
Yes.
comforts, having both. Can we have both? The ingenuity, the
Mhm.
technology, the advancements. I'm starting to really like AI and the things that it can do for us. And if
Yeah.
AI and everything does those technical things for us, those economies of scale for us, what does that leave us left to do? To learn how to better relate,
Mm.
maybe to develop those skills, not only empathy, but telepathy, to really
Yeah.
develop that 95% of our brain we aren't using right now.
Right. Move away from killing each other.
Happy good. All the wars. Let's move away.
Yeah. Because I know if my consciousness is raised and AI helps me with that, it's like, man, this knowledge used to be locked away by the elites to keep me ignorant and dumb. So I'm easily controlled, right? But now we're in the information age, man. There's no like gatekeeper on the information. AI, man, I use it way better than Google right now. And I see Google integrating AI for sure. Yeah, it already has with the search. But man, I'm just scraping the data and like, the levels the playing field. And with that knowledge, right, I'll go as far as like, this war is stupid. Like, no, I'm putting that gun down. Heck no. Right. And the more of us that become aware of that, the less we can be influenced by some dude that's like freaking, I don't know, man, what generation? Older generation in an old paradigm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the olders, not the elders.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's like, see, it's the lack of initiation, right? It's the lack of rites of passage. It's like my initiation right now is go to school, graduate, post secondary, get loads of debt, work a job, get a house, get a mortgage, get married, have kids, work to pay off all my debt and support my kids, and then retire and travel and then die. Hmm. Sounds great.
Yeah, retire means
I,
to
I
go to sleep. Go to sleep again.
yeah, man. Holy crap, eh? What a load of crap
Yeah,
that is when I realize that there's another way.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. There's another way that's more life giving. Okay,
Curious,
let's take a
your
look at that.
way. What's your way? And I notice we don't have any messages on Restream. I'm not liking Restream so much.
Yeah.
Consistently show messages from people. So if anyone has been typing messages, we are so sorry. We can't see any of them today, and there's a total inconsistency with it. Drives me insane.
Right. We might have to repair the channels or something, or I'll delete it and recreate it or something. But yeah, like please do test it out. If you are watching, send a message. We're gonna do some quality assurance here live on Restream just to see what's happening because I have it loaded up here and I don't see any comments on the Facebook group, but it is live. I'm checking out my personal profile here. You're live. I'll check on the summer. But yeah, I'm disappointed.
Mm,
Be nice to have
no
comments.
peeps.
It's on your page too. It's there. So
Unusual for
hey,
today.
yeah,
People are traveling to remember the village already. They're going to be there before
probably.
we are.
Yeah, disconnecting from technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like lack of initiation. Where was it going with this? It's like our culture is result of like adolescence. That's why we have wars. It's like the playground. We're like trying to battle who's right, who's wrong. Can't hear me. Like no conscious communication. It's all about power over, like, that domination hierarchy of, like, parents, how they treat their kids unconsciously, right? And that gets carried over repetitively. That's just a reflection, right? As above, so below. What happens typically in the family unit is happening at the governmental level and with other governments, with other countries. It's just this game of risk, right?
Toxic.
Conquest, domination. And it's like, yeah, little boys and girls on the playground because we lack the initiation, we lack the awareness, we lack a community eldership hold us in that space that, hey, we're okay, we're safe. Here's why. I'm missing that.
Well, how about
Man.
I've got an idea then. Since we're missing it, and because there's no comments today, how about we go early, disconnect from technology, and go remember the village by being in the village?
It's great.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we'll figure out maybe we want to do a different thing rather than restream. Because I like people's comments. I like humans.
Yeah, I mean, it was showing up before, so it's just maybe a glitch, you know? I like Restream because of the effectiveness, where it streams multiple platforms at once. But we can talk about that offline.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome.
Anyways, we're going to close this conversation, bring it to completion. If you are rewatching this, we would love to hear your comments. What landed for you? If you're going to Remembering the Village, if you're thinking about next year, love to hear your thoughts around, like, yeah, does this resonate? Like this idea of rites of passage, initiation, or coming back into relating, right? What's my relationship to that thing, to you, rather than treating each other as objects? Love to hear it.
And coming.
So I want to throw it back to you quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything else you want to add, babe.
Yeah, I think I just want to build more places and opportunities to be able to connect like this. And so we'll bring pictures back from Remembering the Village and we can consider it for next year because I think we'll build it, grow it with Michelle and Carolyn and Tad and all the other people that are going out there. Jerry, I think, is going to. So we'll see you all out there.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
See what we can build together.
Exactly. So until next time, again, we're here every Friday, 12 p.m. Mountain. Check out on YouTube, Get Resourced, like and subscribe. Check out our channel. We also have a Facebook group as well, Get Resourced. Join it. And we love to be in relationship with you.
Yeah.
Ciao for now.